Chris Pullum, Windsor Park Elementary.
David Schumacher, Janesville Parker.
Caleb Pullum, Brooks Chapel Daycare, Corpus Christi, Texas.
Cameron Pullum, Cunningham Middle School.
Anthony Connors, Wilson Elementary.
What's going on, everybody? Yo, Conley from the School of Hard Knocks. You dig?
Welcome to the Guys Podcast. This is your host, Chris Poole. Just want to give you a quick thank you for checking us out. We'll be releasing content weekly, so check us out on all streaming platforms. And if you have any questions, remember to email us at theguyspodcast@aol.com. Enjoy the show. What is going on, y'all? It's the Guys Podcast, episode 3 or 4, depending on if you watch the bonus episode. We really appreciate the support so far. This week we're going to be talking about NBA All-Star, kind of the state of Call of Duty and a few other things. We got a new podcast co-host this week. I'll let David introduce himself, but we really appreciate him joining us.
What's good, you guys? Happy to join. Happy to be with you guys. But yeah, looking forward to it. Let's have some fun. Awesome.
So to get it started, we're going to talk about sports. Talk about the All-Star weekend, and then also throw in talking about Damian Lillard. So to start off, we're going to talk through all of the events, and let's just get started. I'm not really too concerned about the celebrity game because it's not even like predictable, but we do have Stephen A. Smith coaching, so that should be interesting to watch. But to get started, the world team versus the USA team, I think this would be a really good game if they're taking it even partially seriously. So I don't know if anyone else has thoughts on that.
Man, that game, I'm more excited about the World versus USA, formerly the rookie-sophomore game, than I am about the actual All-Star game. Because if they actually take that serious, like Luka, you got Trae Young, you got those the guys from Miami, 2 young guys. Like, you got a lot of young players that are going to be, like, the future of this league, that are probably going to be, like, the superstars of the next generation, that are rookies and sophomores, like, right now. Mm-hmm. So I honestly think the world is going to win because I think Luka is just on a whole nother level as everybody else. But
they got Zion Zion.
Yeah, Zion.
And Zion's going to show out. You know they're just going to be throwing it up to him.
He is going to be showing
uncontested.
Out, man, like that game, if they actually take it serious, it's going to go so crazy.
Yeah, I agree. Anybody else got the world versus USA?
Nah, he knocked it out the park.
I was going to say, summed it up nicely.
All right, so let's move on to All-Star Saturday night. We got the skills challenge. I'll read off the players. We got Bam from Miami, Patrick Beverley, Spencer Dinwiddie, Chris Middleton, Domantas Sabonis, Pascal Siakam, Jason Tatum, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who is replacing Derrick Rose due to injury. So skills challenge is always like completely unpredictable. I think that the people that are smaller typically succeed. So if I had to pick, it'd be Patrick Beverley for me.
I'm gonna go with Bam Adebayo just because I want to see him win. I mean, it's really a toss-up. Anybody could win, honestly.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Chris Middleton just because I'm from Milwaukee.
Pascal, okay. Dave?
Not bad.
I'm going with Tank Middleton. That's my boy right there. He'll do it.
Cam, you got anybody?
Like you said, Chris, as far as the skills challenge, it's unpredictable. It's a toss-up, and it doesn't matter on your skill set. Things happen, and so it's really in the moment who's going to not crack under pressure, who's able to perform, you know what I mean, in that moment. So you never know.
Yeah.
You never know.
Going on to the 3-point shootout, we got Trae Young, Devontae Graham from Charlotte, Joe Harris from Brooklyn, Buddy Hield from Sacramento, hometown host Zach LaVine, Damian Lillard, Duncan Robinson, and David Bertans from Washington. For me, I want Damian Lillard to win, but if I'm being honest, I think that Joe Harris has won back-to-back, didn't he? So I think that this will be his 3rd year competing, and he's just insane. So that would be my pick if I had to go off of correction, like the correct pick.
No, that's very Yeah, I would. I mean, yeah, it's very
I
predictable, but Damian Lillard's been shooting lights out, bro.
you right, bro.
Like
Best
he's been shooting
percentage right now.
ridiculous.
One of the best, I should say.
Man,
I
he's been
think
going crazy.
I think that it's gonna be Duncan Robinson and Buddy Hield in the finals.
Hmm.
Duncan Robinson takes it
That's what I just told Chris that earlier.
because the superstars don't usually do well in the 3-point shooting contest because they out, partying and doing all this other stuff. So Damian Lillard, he's not even gonna take it serious. He'll just show up, shoot.
Do you know what time it is?
I was gonna say, I feel like Dame got to prove himself.
All right.
Not
Does
not
not
this All-Star
does
weekend.
not
A little
care.
bit.
Zach Levine does not care either. Like people like that, they do not care.
Nah, he mad ain't nobody came and got him from Chicago. So.
Anybody else got some picks on those?
I'm going Dame too. Damian Lillard got to go with that. He's been shooting lights out, strong. I think he shows up.
Cam?
I like Damian Lillard, so just as a fan, of his, I'll just go with Damian Lillard.
All right, cool. So going on to the dunk contest. This is a tough one for me, but we got Pat Connaughton from Milwaukee, Aaron Gordon from Orlando, who got snubbed in 2015. Was that 15, 16? Dwight Howard
Greatest dunk
returning,
contest of all time.
and Derrick Jones from Miami. Now, Derrick Jones Jr. can fly.
Yes.
I don't.
Bunny.
It is insane. So I honestly don't even have a pick. So y'all can talk about it. I have no idea.
Pat Connaughton. Because I'm from Milwaukee. What else is there to say?
I'm rooting for him too. I'm a huge Milwaukee fan, and I just think he's going against some great dunkers. So I want to see what he can do. Dunking against them. But then there's just so many huge names: Dwight Howard, Aaron Gordon. Man, it's gonna be crazy. I just want to see what Pat Connaughton's gonna be able to do, though.
Yeah, bro, because
He had the highest vertical in his draft class too, by the way, and his combine.
We got the whole team behind him. They all going crazy for him. He's gonna he's gonna go crazy.
Gonna be
he's
hype.
gonna, and we know he's gonna have Giannis come out there and throw the ball for him.
Yeah,
Right.
so that's gonna score some brownie points.
I think that Derrick Jones is going to deserve to win, but they're gonna give it to Gordon.
Okay, why?
Because he's probably one of those people that they kind of had to coerce to be in it just to bring the ratings up, and they always give the biggest stars the title.
I think
even if
that
they don't deserve it.
I think that Aaron Gordon wanted to do it. He's in Orlando, which is a smaller market team. He doesn't get a lot of press. He kind of likes that relevancy of being an all-time great dunker. So I think that he's going to show out. But don't sleep on Dwight because Dwight.
That's true. He's a good story.
No, Dwight's a great story. He also hinted to doing some throwbacks, and throwbacks always seem to do well with the dunk contest. So I wouldn't sleep on Dwight, and that's why for me it's a toss-up. I honestly have to see what types of dunks they even want to do. Like if we're talking pure dunking, Aaron Gordon should win the contest, but Derek can jump out the building, and Dwight just has more what's that? What am I trying to say?
Nostalgia.
Yeah, and he
His
was
charisma,
bringing out all these props and all those things. So we'll see how he'll be able
Creativity and
exactly.
charisma.
Superman returns.
Yeah. And he might do something like Kobe related, like a Kobe type tribute.
Yeah, he is in LA.
Because he called Kobe I think a week before Kobe passed away and was like, "Will you throw the ball to me in the dunk contest?" He agreed to it, and then he passed away. So he's probably going to do something to kind of commemorate that.
Yeah, so let's move on to the actual game itself. I'll go with LeBron's picks. His first pick was Anthony Davis. Then he went Kawhi Leonard, Luka, James Harden. And his reserves are Chris Paul, Damian Lillard, Nikola Jokic, Ben Simmons, Sabonis, Jason Tatum, and Russell Westbrook. Coached by his own coach, so that's a key factor there. And Giannis went with Joel Embiid, Siakam, Kemba, Trae Young. And then his first pick of the reserves was his teammate Chris Middleton. Went with Bam, Brandon Ingram, Donovan Mitchell, Jimmy Butler, Rudy Gobert, and Kyle Lowry. So he's coached by Nick Nurse of the Raptors.
Bro, do we even have to do we have to discuss this?
Yes, we do,
Right.
because I
Bro,
think that
Team LeBron is about to
I
smack them,
disagree with
bro.
you. I think that Giannis plays way harder than anyone in the All Star game, and he has a team of scrappy players that don't really care. Like, they're gonna go out there and try to win. And then you look at the coaching. So Nick Nurse doesn't care about the minutes of Giannis. Like, whereas if you look at Vogel, he might be trying to preserve AD and LeBron because he's like trying not to push it. So I think that might affect the minutes and how he kind of like strategizes to win the game.
Nah,
If
bro.
I had to pick, I'm gonna pick the more talented team is Team LeBron, but don't sleep on Giannis's team.
Bro, Team LeBron is gonna smack them, and I will tell you why. One, they changed the format of the All Star game, so it's no longer. I don't know if y'all know this, but it's no longer just a game. They changed it so that each quarter is a game in itself. So you play the 12-minute quarters, and then the team who has the most points at the end of the quarter wins that quarter, and then they get money for a charity of the captain's choice. So they have three quarters like that, and then at in the fourth quarter they add up the scores from the three quarters, and then they're gonna add 24 to it to commemorate Kobe, and then the first team to hit the target score of 24 points plus the team with the highest score will win the game.
Wait,
And
what?
there's so
I was
so
with you
like
until the ad that. So
let's say like at the end of the three quarters, Team LeBron has 110 and Team Giannis has 100, right?
Mhm.
Total. They'll add 24 to the 110, so the target score is 134 now, and the first team to hit 134 wins the
for the
game.
they have to start from zero.
No, they start from the scores that they added up from the last three quarters.
So they only
So
need
that
to
would
score
make more.
24 points.
24 points,
Oh,
no
that's
shot
gonna
clock.
be.
So it's like a pickup game.
Oh, that's gonna be really quick.
Wait, so
Yeah.
that's going to be the fourth quarter then?
Yeah, so it's gonna go pretty fast, I think. But there's no shot clock, and there, this like the game winner. There has to be a game winner in the All Star game, basically.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's gonna be more competitive because it's not like the regular format where you can just like slack off into the fourth quarter. Like each quarter you're trying to win, and
That's pretty cool.
that's why I think Team LeBron is going to smack them because he has way more talent, and then there's actually an incentive to play hard the entire game. So I mean, Giannis,
What?
his team is sweaty, but
I like the 24, but I think they should have went like 24 plus 8 because 24
yeah,
points in the All Star game is like two possessions.
or
Like, they
or
don't.
they could have gone, or they could have gone 24 win by two
Yeah.
for Gigi.
I
Yeah,
feel
but
like what.
no, go ahead, bro.
No, I was just saying from like what Chris was saying. You would have like you can assume that Team LeBron could win, but like you said, I mean, you have a lot of. I don't like to. You have more of the well-known players on Team LeBron, and so as far as them playing for them, they're not going to sacrifice their higher-end players on the All-Star game. They're going to take it easy. So Giannis has. They're coming up, so they feel like they have more to prove. His team's stacked with a lot more. I don't know. I just feel like Giannis. I don't feel like Giannis has anything to prove because we all know what Giannis can do. But like as far as just, I don't know. Overall, I just feel like it could go either way. But with Caleb saying it that way, if there's incentive for each quarter, it could be a toss up now because then there is that incentive.
Yeah, that's lit. And you are hilarious. And yeah, like Chris said, like essentially that means that whoever's leading going into the third quarter only has to score 24 points, and then the trailing team has to score catch up. So what if they're already down 20 points
Hmm.
and now they got to score 44, and then the other team has to score 24? Like that's a little weird to me. Then that's not even going to be competitive because no one wants to score 24 points to 24. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I'm gonna move on. We're gonna skip past Damian Lillard, just due to time, and talk about the state of Call of Duty right now, and how you feel it is. This can be a really quick topic. We're not gonna bear on it too long, and kind of look forward to what Treyarch, who's developing 2020's Call of Duty, can do to kind of change the balance of gaming, or if it's even possible. So starting off for me, I think that Call of Duty is really, really, really repetitive. and they have been for a long time, but they've been bailed out with the times that they're releasing their games. And I don't know if it's luck or what it is, but it seems like every time they release one of their big titles, like their Treyarch games and their Infinity War games, have been against lighter competition. So Battlefield has not really shown up on the same releases as the big Call of Duties, the staple Call of Duties. So I just feel like they've been getting lucky. And people want shooting games, and that's kind of like the go-to. But they cannot release the same product that they've been doing. It'll sell a lot of copies, and they'll make a lot of money. Last year, they made 3.3 billion in microtransactions alone. So they're gonna make money. They really could care less about what they're putting out. But I think if they want to continue to be a staple long term, they're gonna have to do something differently and be unique versus continue to copy paste the same model.
I think one of the things that that Call of Duty is lacking now is the competitiveness of it. I feel like with this new game, it just gets, like you said, the repetitiveness.
Yeah.
It gets boring to me. Like I'm literally playing, I could be doing well and I'll get bored of it. One thing that would always keep me going back and playing and want to play more is being that it's really competitive. Maybe with the new, when they drop the competitive like league or whatever it is, get more fun, more competitive play. But I mean, honestly, since Advanced Warfare with that rank play, it's been competitive wise, been missing for me. But
yeah, and Black Ops 4 dropped it after the New Year turn. Like it was February, March, so they didn't even have that aspect of the game ready to go, and that's just a huge miscue for a title that was supposed to carry the weight over until 2020 and the next gen consoles.
Yeah, you guys say it's repetitive, but I'm not understanding what you want it to be. It's a shooting game. What do you want it to switch to be?
If you look at like Battlefield, for example, like yes, it's Battlefield, but they try to reinvent themselves in terms of the types of maps, the type of storyline that they're producing, the vibe. So like they have the same game modes, they have the same types of things, but Call of Duty is literally like UAV. What? It's the same thing, like the same map flow, the same weapons in most cases. Like it's literally they're just copy and pasting, remastering everything. Like they can't keep selling us. Like you look at Black Ops 3. Black Ops 3 had more DLC guns than base guns, and all their DLC guns were remakes of the previous games. So it's like, can we get something that's fresh and new? And you can give like odes to the previous Call of Duties, like that's not a problem, but to literally take the same code and put it into the next game, like we need something different. Like this is 2020 and we don't have destructible environments in a shooting game. Like I know it's Call of Duty, but like why can't we not blow up a building to change the flow of the game? Like there's got to be some more realism to a shooter game in 2020. If that makes sense.
But Call of Duty is more of an arcade shooter in the first place, so I don't think that they'll ever go in that direction to where they'll be having buildings blow up and like how you're describing it. I feel like what they do is they want a game where it's fast paced killing, and as far as the guns being the same and everything else being the same, I don't feel like it's the same because I feel like I can't get attached to this Call of Duty like I was Black Ops 4. I couldn't get attached to Modern Warfare 2 like I did Black Ops 3 because the game was different to me. So I feel like the games do come out different and there's different flow in the game. But yeah, as far as it being repetitive and stuff, I don't know. I just don't know what they could do to change people's perspective of being repetitive.
And that's the thing. Like I don't think that there is much they can do. I mean, even if you look at like zombies fell off so hard in Black Ops 4, and like it's zombies. Like you would think that the people that love zombies would at least play it, and even those people didn't really play it. So like if they're gonna continue with the same model of multiplayer, battle royale, and zombies, or multiplayer zombies and story mode, like they've got to do something different, and I don't know what that answer is, and they got a tough task ahead of them.
I honestly don't think that that's what people want is a different game. Like I don't play Call of Duty, but from what I understand about Call of Duty, it's almost like putting out a 2K or putting out like a Madden. Like you know what you're getting, and that's why you buy the game. Like you know you're getting a football game when you buy Madden. You know you're getting a basketball game when you buy 2K. They might change the graphics, they might tweak the presentation a little bit, but the core gameplay is always going to be the same. And that's kind of the same thing with Call of Duty or with any kind of shooting game that's really popular. There's a certain style, a certain flow to it, a certain feedback loop that you get from the game that if they change it too much, people will highly dislike it because you play Call of Duty because it feels like Call of Duty. You play 2K or NBA Live or Madden because it feels like those games. So
And
I don't think you really can change it up too much. I mean, you could change maps, make them more colorful. I mean, you can do those types of things, but at the end of the day, I mean, you buy Call
Right?
of Duty
Why?
because you want Call of Duty.
You want to
I
shoot?
feel like in defense of Chris, I feel like what he's leaning on more so is the idea of innovation and where technology is leading. So like if you were to buy an iPhone 2, 3, 4, and it just continues with each iPhone, you want to see that there's an advancement of technology. So I don't want to see the same specs in my iPhone X or whatever that I seen in my iPhone 7 or 6. So it's like with going to next Call of Duty with him saying he wants it to be more interactive, we want to see some more implementation of different types of environments that we can be able to actually interact with the environment. I feel like that makes for more of a interactive game. Like I understand what he's saying, but if you look back to like Live, Christian, you're a huge Live fan. You know why 2K they stuck consistent, and that's what Call of Duty is just trying to stay consistent and not switch too much to throw people off. But I feel like when Live tried to make that jump, where they tried to integrate like that new technology, where when players would collide, they try to make it more, make the game flow a little better, kind of just stunned them for a little bit because they wanted to make sure that the product was how they wanted it to be, and it kind of slowed them down. I feel like if Call of Duty tried to do too much too soon, it might throw off the streak, and then people might forget about it and then move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
That's the same thing with people saying 2K is trash every year, but still buy the game. Like
Yep.
you buy 2K because it's 2K. Like you buy Call of Duty because it's Call of Duty, and that's what Cameron's saying. Like NBA Live, they tried to do like the real physics and all that stuff,
Right.
but like when they did all that, people thought the game was trash because it didn't feel like the game that they known before.
Exactly.
So
They'd skip years. They did skip years.
Yeah.
I mean, no, NBA Elite, they went from 10 to Elite 11, and when they went from 10 to Elite 11, they tried to do the physics and all that stuff, and it didn't work.
But I feel like that's where our technology should lead in the advancement of gaming. I feel like you shouldn't, it should be like thinking outside the box. So it's like we don't want to play the games where we go and like it just feels like we're getting sucked into the animations. We want the animations to feel like they're smoother, and like at least with the Elite they were trying to do that, and that's what I'm saying. I feel like Chris is just saying with Call of Duty we just want to see more interaction within the game, and the environments feel more lively to where it feels as if you're actually encompassed in what the game is. You want to feel like you're in battle and that you can interact. And
Let me put it
I
this
feel
way.
that,
So,
Chris.
like, every time Treyarch does, like, their E3 or whatever showing, they talk about, like, weapon sounds, realism of weapons, like, color texture. Like, we don't really care about that. Like, we want to feel like we're not... Like, I love Treyarch, so I love Black Ops 4. But what I'm saying is they can't give us Black Ops 4.5. If anything, like, give us something Black Ops 1. Like, change it so it's not the same feedback you've having that Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4 were the same. You just took away the jetpacks. That's what I'm saying. Is basically what I'm saying. So, like, they can do more with the new hardware, and I hope that they do, because you put on a completely new console, you should be innovating and not just sticking with the same technology you've been using since PS3. But we got to move on to our next topic. So we're going to talk about, it's kind of be rapid fire. We're not going to debate or anything. Just give us our top songs of each decade, starting with 1960s. And then we'll kind of just go down. So we'll go 60s around the horn and 70s and so on and so forth. So I'll go first, and then we'll go Cam, Dave, and Caleb, Kavan. I'll start off with 60s. I'm going to go Sitting on the Dock of the Bay, which is 68. I think that's...
Give us a sample. Give us a
bop.
sample. You. No. You. Yeah.
Sitting... That's it. That's all I
That's
got.
all we need.
Go ahead, Cam.
Bro, this what's catching my eye off. Just looking right now, I'm scrolling. Got 1967. You got Louis Armstrong, bro. What a Wonderful World. I feel like that song is iconic, bro.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
to this day, when I hear that song, it gives me chills, bro, and it just makes me feel like everything's gonna be okay, bro. You got like My Girl, Temptations, and that's what
Chill,
that.
chill, chill, chill,
Chill,
chill, chill,
chill, chill,
chill. Everybody
chill,
else got
yeah,
stuff
bro.
to talk about, man.
Oh,
You
okay,
take
but I'm
it.
just saying, bro. This like I'm looking through the list, bro, and I couldn't even get to the '70s and the '80s and the '90s, bro. Just sitting, looking at Frank Sinatra and Beatles, and you have these.
You taking
Oh,
everybody's
I'll stop,
list.
Bro,
but the
chill.
'60s went crazy, bro. The '60s went crazy.
Thank you, Cam. Like I said in the last episode, if you guys didn't catch it in our bonus episode, we talked about what was the powerhouse era of music, and I mentioned the 60s.
Go ahead, Dave.
So if I'm going 60s, honestly, I had to come up with something off the top of my head just real quick. I'm gonna go Beatles, Help by the Beatles. I feel like that's just one of those things that just popped up at the top of my head. We changed it last second, so that's what I got for the 60s.
They ran the 60s.
Yeah, I know.
Uh-huh.
The Beatles?
Beatles?
For the white folks. Temptations ran it for the brothers. We're going to be honest here.
Let's just be clear: we love all races and genders and
By all
religions.
means.
By all
Yes, sir.
means.
Exactly. I'm running for president one day, bro.
Yeah,
Yes, sir. And I'm going to vote for you.
Oh, my turn. I will say I'm gonna have to go. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Just go ahead.
Go ahead, Kalan. I apologize.
No, I thought he said my name. I'm gonna. This is it's from 1959, but it's close enough. I'm gonna go with "Shout" by the Isley Brothers because it was lit. I can't do that. I gotta go.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. We'll give it
I'll
to
do
you.
I'll do "Unchained Melody" by the Righteous Brothers. Then it's just those the set of brothers. If it has brothers in the name of the song, it's gonna be a hit.
Go ahead, Caleb.
I'm gonna go "A Change's Gonna Come" by Sam Cooke.
Ooh, that was you, Ant.
One of them. You know, I had two just for this.
Yeah.
Thank you, Caleb, for bringing back that title name.
Can you give us a snippet?
Mm-hmm.
I was born by the river.
Mm.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
Sorry.
You gotta hit the. What the what? Yeah.
Go
Put
ahead.
that man
Yeah,
on
go
the
ahead.
spot.
Hey,
really did.
you know, I'm just gonna go "My Girl" by the Temptations.
Okay.
Something. Thanks, Cam.
Go ahead Ant, and start us off with the 70s, so you'll get yours taken.
"Could Be Loved" by Bob Marley.
Oh,
You know that.
Ooh.
I enjoy that. You know, that's
go in reverse order, Caleb.
I'm gonna go "Let's Stay Together" by my man Al Green. 71.
What am I gonna say now, man? I didn't have a second one prepared, man. I didn't have a second one prepared.
Hey, bro, just think of Jackson 5, man.
All right, go ahead, come on.
Speaking of Jackson 5, I'm gonna go with "Who's Loving You." by Jackson 5.
Ooh. Okay.
Mm.
That's
Oh, yeah.
fair. That's fair.
I don't think they put out a bad song ever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Never.
they're later days as the Jacksons.
Yeah, the Jacksons.
Never.
As the Jacksons, but
Never.
all right. Go ahead, Dave.
I'm gonna go with "War" by Edwin Starr. That was one of the most popular. It was a movement, so I got to go with "War."
Okay.
Favorite
Cam?
song.
Oh, where we at? We in the '70s?
Yeah.
So I didn't really find anything that popped out for me in the '70s. So, but I know that in that time, I know Marvin Gaye was pretty popular in that time in the '70s. Marvin Gaye.
I'm gonna
I
go.
couldn't think of
Oh,
a
go
particular song.
Since I had to switch it up last minute, I'll go "Rock with You."
Yep.
Michael
That was
Jackson.
my second.
That was in the 70s.
Yeah, it was.
79.
So I'll
That
go.
was he had a single.
Yeah, that was just, yeah.
That
Man,
was-
he snapped so
was-
hard for that music video and that song.
Yep.
That
Yep.
was his first. That was his first one, right?
Yeah. I was just like his. I think that was like around the time he, for the '80s. I gotta go with one of my favorite songs of all time, "Living on a
I
Prayer."
know it.
I know
Yeah,
that there's a lot of other great songs, so don't bash me. But I gotta give some rock shout out. I'm gonna go "Living on a Prayer."
beautiful, beautiful.
Not bad.
1986. Cam, go ahead.
So we're in the 80s now, right?
Mhm.
So okay, so it's saying in Wikipedia that it was the original it was released in 1984. Take on Me.
Ooh.
Mm.
Yeah.
Ooh,
So
Mm.
yeah.
you went back and
Can
forth
we
with
get a
that.
snippet? Can we get a
Take
snippet?
on me, take on me. Yeah, that sounds crazy. And the
Um,
music video
yes, it
for
was
the
amazing.
80s,
Revolutionary.
bro, revolutionary, bro. Facts.
So nice. And it was so.
Shout out to Corey, bro. He put me on that.
Mm.
all right, y'all. For my '80s, I got to go with the hit "Journey." We're gonna go with "Don't Stop Believing."
Okay.
Feel me?
Mm.
Ooh.
Don't stop believing. CV.
I'm gonna go with a song that my grandmother put me on because she loves it and listens to it all the time, and that's "Girls Want to Have Fun" by Cindy Lauper or Laper, however you pronounce her last name. Sorry if I mispronounced it.
Girls just wanna have fun.
That's a sleeper.
Sleeper. Go ahead, Caleb.
I'm gonna go with "Love TKO" by Teddy Pendergrass.
Love TKO.
That
Okay.
man said he, looking back over his years, he shedded some tears, bro. Oh, that's a lot
Okay.
of tears.
Go ahead, Ant.
I'm gonna go with Computer Love.
Ooh.
Zap.
Mm.
That was my mom's
Zapp and
favorite song.
Rogers. Okay.
Ooh, okay.
Sir.
That's that heat.
Okay.
Mm.
Go ahead,
I had
Go ahead, start us off with the '90s too.
Mm.
90s. Who I put for that? Hold on.
We all gonna have
I
it.
need some backup for the thousands. I just looked at it. Go ahead.
I was gonna
I
have
put. I had Twisted by Keith Sweat.
You son of a gun.
He said something like
I'm not gonna go two because
don't go two.
Yeah, Twisted by Keith Sweat.
Go ahead, Caleb.
Okay, I can go to because I know none of these are probably not gonna be chosen. This is just to clarify. These are like what we think are like our favorite songs, like what comes to mind. This is not the best songs of the decade. Just I don't know if we clarified that. So my feel good song from the '90s is "It Feels Good" by Tony Tone. That song.
Feels good.
Yes.
Mm.
But I have another one, '97, "Nice and Slow" by Usher.
Ooh.
Hey,
You might have took Dave's while you talking. That's his favorite artist.
hey, Usher's that man.
Yeah, he's that guy.
Go ahead,
Goat.
So the 1990s, I feel like that was a nice year of music. To pick a song that just pops into my head, I'm gonna have to go with the ruler of the 2000 or the 1990s is Tupac, and I am going to say "Changes"
Okay.
Mm.
by
Okay.
Tupac.
Go ahead, Dave.
I ain't mad at you.
I'm surprised no one said it. All right, but I'm gonna have to go with "All My Life."
Okay.
Hey, that was
Casey JoJo?
everybody's mom was playing that. I know y'all was coming that.
We
Hey.
might have got born to it,
See, I had my second one. I had "I'll Make Love to You" from Boys to Men.
Mm.
Okay.
That's the man, 1990s.
Go ahead, Cam.
Oh, Cam still
Eh.
gotta do my back.
Please do not clown me for this one, but y'all might feel me on this one. So this is getting closer to the 2000s, but it's 1998. "Hit Me Baby One More Time."
Okay.
Britney
Wow,
Spears,
man.
come on.
Okay.
Come on.
I ain't mad at you.
Not at
Yeah.
all.
For me, I'm gonna go with this is not even close, by the way. It's the greatest song in the '90s. "I Will Always Love You," 1992, Whitney Houston. It's not even close.
Iconic, bro.
Yeah. So
Hold on. Caleb, what you say? Come on, hit that real quick. Oh,
Nah,
nah,
I can't hit it like Whitney.
you don't gotta hit it. No, Chris, don't try that again. We need Caleb real quick, man. I heard it.
and so I'm gonna go over to the 2000s. I'm probably gonna take at least one person and say, "Hey, Outcast."
Mm.
No, that's all you, Playboy.
Yeah, that's all you.
Go ahead, Cam.
I'm probably gonna take somebody. Got 50 Cent, bro, in the club,
Mm.
2003.
Yes.
The biggest, bro. That was the biggest smash in 2000. I feel like of all, like that
I'm a,
decade, bro. I feel like people was on that for a minute, bro.
to this day.
Right.
I got it downloaded on my phone at least.
All right, I'm gonna bring some R&B in this. We is
Mm.
R. Kelly. We going Usher. You feel me? And we're going Confessions.
Mm?
Hey,
Confessions 2?
Yeah.
hey, 2 and 1.
Okay.
If you know one, you were the real one. You a real one if you know one. No, nobody really know the one.
We
These
gotta talk.
people out
We
here
Oh,
gotta talk
we
favorite
know the
album.
one. Maybe.
know two, but nobody listen to the one.
We gotta talk. We gotta talk favorite albums of all time. Because Confessions is one of the
Bro.
greats, bro. I'm just putting
Bro.
it out there.
Go ahead, come on.
For the 2000s, it was like I'm thinking of like when I was younger, not when we were getting like high or getting up to middle school, high school. So I'm gonna say something when I was younger, and 50 Cent and Eminem were both real powerhouses in music at the time. And since Cam said in the club, I'm going to say
Knees weak, arms heavy.
no.
Eminem?
Do we need to come back to you?
Please come back to me because I don't think I'm going to say that one because it's a
Go ahead, Caleb.
Okay, I'm gonna go with my favorite album of all time. My favorite song on my favorite album of all time. "Send It On" by D'Angelo. Came out in 2000
Okay.
on the album Voodoo. And I have a second one, but I'll save it. Just an honorable mention for me.
Go ahead.
For my, I had Locked Up by Akon.
Locked up.
Oh,
Locked up.
So if we're gonna move up to middle school type years, I was gonna
It's
say
2000s.
Akon and T Pain, and I was gonna say I'm in love with a stripper, T Pain.
mm.
I have an honorable mention for me. Air Force Ones by Nelly.
Hot in here. Hot in here, too.
Nelly, he was.
Then
That
I had for
snap.
mine, I had
Soldier Boy, tell him.
You Don't Know My Name by Alicia Keys.
Okay.
No. I'm gonna go ahead and say that, Chris. I'm gonna change mine. I'm gonna say "Crank That" by Soldier Boy
Okay.
Yeah.
because I
That's
remember
seventh grade?
Rec Night-
That was huge.
Seventh
it was
grade.
7th grade for us.
Yep.
And I remember when that song came out, everybody ran to the dance floor,
Yeah.
bro, and everyone started twisting
Every
their legs
night.
and smacking their fingers
Mm.
or snapping their fingers.
The production
y'all
value.
not
If
from
you listen to that
Wisconsin.
song,
Y'all wasn't in middle school in Wisconsin, but every rec night that definitely
Right,
got
right.
if,
What? What?
Shout
Rec
out, to
night?
shout out to my
That's Soulja
Janesville
Boy.
608 area folks.
Oh,
Rec
my-
nights.
Hey, go
if you
ahead.
listen to that production value on that song, now that production value is not good at all.
Give him some credit, man. Hey, go ahead, add with the
Saying.
2010s. This will be our last one, obviously.
See, I put Airplanes by B.O.B.
Airplanes by B.O.B. Okay.
You know, like that. I just thought about what I like. That was the,
Okay.
you know.
Caleb?
Oh, this is hard for me. Cause I want to go with Chance, but I'm gonna go with That's What I Like by Bruno.
Ooh.
I was also gonna go Bruno Mars. Just the way you are, but that was Bruno Mars was taking off, bro. Bruno Mars took off, bro.
Yeah. I walked into the moon.
Go ahead, come on.
I'm gonna go back to 2000 real quick, and I'm gonna switch mine to that Cash Money Records taking over for the 99 of the 2000. There you wanna? All right, so I'm gonna go back to the 2010s. I'm going to say God's Plan. It was towards the end of the 2010s, but God's Plan, that song snapped. It was very like basic, but it was a big message in it, and the music video to it it was amazing.
The
So,
production, producers did their thing on that one. Go ahead, Dave.
yeah.
The music video.
Stick with that same. We're gonna stick with Drake there. I'm gonna go All Me.
Ooh.
Drake.
On me.
Word for word. Every time I come on.
The
Yeah.
ending song on Nothing Was the Same. It was a good song. Wasn't my favorite, but it was okay.
Go ahead, Cam.
Oh, it's on me. Oh
Yeah.
no, yeah, I was just going with the. I was gonna say Bruno Mars also, just
Okay.
the way you are. Yeah, that's what I was.
For me, this was tough because it's like best song or favorite song.
Justin
Favorite.
Timberlake.
It's gonna be
So my
2020
favorite
experience.
song is hard for me, but the most like I think it's a very beautiful song and it sticks with me is Not a Bad Thing by Justin Timberlake. If you just listen to the lyrics, I think it's just slept on. Should be played more often. But we're gonna go into
Best
relationships
song.
now. It's not the best
What's your
song
best?
Nah,
ever.
but
What's your
wait.
best
I got
song?
one more. I
Mirrors.
got one more.
Go ahead.
Now, also, see, y'all went with the newer stuff, but I kept it. You feel me? As soon as I got to high school, and I put that "Love the Way You Lie" by Eminem and Rihanna.
Mm.
Okay.
That was a. Y'all supposed to be gassy, but y'all ain't really.
No, that
But
was
I
it's
know
a
y'all was
decent.
playing that.
But
Y'all was
but
playing
Not
that.
a Bad Thing was
I don't
13, so it
remember.
wasn't
I
that
don't
new.
remember it.
If we
Not a Bad Thing is
if we
13.
going like the beginnings of the 2000s, How to Love by Lil Wayne.
That wasn't the beginning. That was 2010.
2010. That's
2011.
beginning.
I
That's
thought
the
you said
beginning
two.
of the
I thought
10s.
you said 2000s.
No,
No, no, no.
2010s.
Okay.
The beginning 10s.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. So we're gonna go over the relationships. This week we're gonna talk about boundaries, how you can balance proper time and space, so that you have like your own personal time. It's not always about being at the same place at the same time. And then we're gonna also talk about what decisions you should consult your partner with, and that can be up for interpretation. But I think that it means like if I'm going over to the store and I'm gonna purchase X, Y, and Z, should I have to ask my partner that I'm going to purchase this? Like, what is the line of like communication like with you all? So I'm going to start with boundaries, and I just think it goes back to what I've constantly said in this part of the podcast is like you just got to communicate that how you're feeling. If you want to go out and do a certain thing, just communicate like, hey. This is what I feel. This is what I'm gonna do, and like there shouldn't be really any second guessing. And if you've established that friendship with your partner beforehand, like it should never be like, oh, I need this person to always be with me, or I need to tag along and see what check up on me or do those types of things. So that's pretty simple for me to try to just keep that balance.
For me personally, bro, that's like that's my best friend, bro. So I don't have many people that I kick it with, on a day-to-day basis. So if it's like I'm not at work or doing whatever, I'm at home with the kids, I'm at home with her, and I like spending time with them, and it doesn't bother me, too often because that's what I commit my life to. But at the same time, there are times as just being a young man, I need my space. I want to just breathe. I want to take everything in. I want to reflect on my life and where I'm at, how I feel mentally and stuff like that. And a person just has to respect the fact that it's not a reflection on like them or not wanting to push them off to the side. It's just everyone has to have that time to be able to like, what I'm saying, have their space to just take everything in for themselves.
I agree, bro. I think that you should have couples things that you do, and then you should have personal things that you do. So like, I mean, if as a couples y'all's thing is like watching movies together, whatever, that can be y'all's thing. But when it's time for me to put on my headphones and make music or do something like that, like I just I don't I think that there should be boundaries to say like when I'm doing my thing, like you can't impede on what I want to do because bro, what's so funny, bro?
Come on, you play way too much.
I'm gonna show it to the podcast.
Bro, am I
Hopefully y'all can see this. Hopefully you'll focus. It's backwards, ain't it?
No,
Oh
I
my
can read it,
goodness.
bro.
Oh my gosh.
So
So he wasn't even paying attention. Go ahead, Kevin.
I was paying attention. I'm sorry. I just wanted to cause a distraction.
all right, yeah, I feel like you should have like couples things that y'all do and then personal things that y'all do. So like if y'all's thing is like going to the movies together, watching movies, like shows, stuff like that can be y'all's thing. But like when it's time for me to do my thing, time for me like for y'all to game or for me to like make music, do something like that, I should be able to have that time and that space for myself, and I shouldn't feel like I'm being bogus for like wanting to take a few hours to myself to just put on my headphones and be in my own little world. And I think that's kind of where my kind of thing with boundaries is like you should be able to take time for yourself, and the other person shouldn't feel insecure or sad that you have something that makes you happy. Um, like you shouldn't always have to be doing things together. I mean, you should want to be doing things with your partner. I'm not saying that you shouldn't want to, but like there should be some times where you can decompress and kind of just do your own thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Very well said, brother.
Yeah, I feel like if anyone is the type of person that feels intimidated by the fact that a
Oh,
person a person may just want to be an individual, that's like an unhealthy and like a toxic dependency that you have upon another person. Like Dad was saying in the bonus episode, like you know you can't love another person more than you love yourself. Like you can't invest all of this into another person and then like you don't take time to just find out who you are as a person. You know what I mean? So that's the part of that time for you to just be an individual. You're individuals at the end of the day. It's a relationship, but you're individuals.
Dave, you got anything?
I mean, yeah, I'm gonna have to agree for pretty much everything. For me, it's just taking a little bit of time. I got a busy life, so I got a lot of stuff, a lot of things going on, especially with with my relationship. There's a lot of different things, a lot of different responsibilities pulling us to do our separate, things throughout the whole day. There are times where I do need to, you got to remind yourself. I feel like in a relationship that you got to spend that time with that significant other, but at the same time, you do need that time by yourself just to keep yourself like almost sane. There's things that people do just to get away from everything, including your relationship, just to take some time and do something that you enjoy doing. Everyone's got to do something that you enjoy doing. It's important. We're all humans. It's something that's definitely got to invest that. But at the same time, when it comes to spending a lot of time away from that person, I don't think you should. But definitely take the time to,
Yeah.
be by yourself.
And
Yeah, y'all said it all. I don't have these problems personally.
CVs.
Ken, what did you say Isha was to you?
My best friend.
Exactly. So I want to be with my friends at all times, and I feel that's exactly what it means. Like, yes, I like to be around my family as much as I can, and it's not even to the fact that we have to be even interacting with each other. I just want them around me.
Right.
Right.
But like Caleb said, though, there is that you do need time to where you can just kind of be by yourself. Not necessarily be by yourself, but be able to do something that you enjoy for that split moment, and you shouldn't have to feel like that's intruding onto your relationship. And I feel like that's a lot of things that kind of come in between a lot of people, a lot of in between people in their relationship is they feel like you're choosing this over them, which is not the case. Like it may seem like that to that person, but no, I'm not choosing playing my game over spending time with you. I spent time with you. I
Mm.
should have time I should have time in my life to set aside for something that I want to do and not, like Caleb said, feel guilty about it. And yeah, man, I feel like that is a big problem though, in some relationships, and um I don't know how else to like get around it
What you said was
and
perfect.
explain it any better, but
If I could hop back in for a second, like off of what Kavan's saying, it's crazy that like when you're talking to someone and you're just like in that process of like getting to know somebody, you're dating, you're seeing each other. It's like you don't expect to see each other every day. Like you're dating and you just see them maybe every other day or some couple days out the week or every week or whatever, every 2 weeks. Then you get to the point where you've passed all of that stage and you develop into this relationship where you're with this person and you see them often, or you're even in a situation where you're cohabitating with this person, and it becomes easy to forget the fact that like I see you every day. Like I see you every day. You're with me every day. We're around each other all day, every day. And it's just like the attention doesn't always have to be on the relationship. Like it can be on other things because at the end of the day, we're here with each other in these moments of our life, every day of our life. You know what I'm saying? And if for a person, especially a young man who like works and provides for his family and does what he can for his family and makes that commitment, you deserve every right to just be able to just be in your own safe space. And whether that's with your guys, you're not out cheating, you're not out doing drugs, you're not out getting drunk, you're not out being irresponsible. You're in the house, you're with your kids, and so that they see you. Your presence speaks more volumes than anything. Your absence would be the only thing that would be something to speak about. Like your presence is everything. And so like I feel like some women are getting on board with like the guys that do play the games and they do, kick it on, like play PlayStation. That's like that is somewhere where guys can come together and they don't have to go to the bar and go to RBIs and go to wherever, like, you know what I'm saying, and kick it at the single scene. You're at home with your kids, you're at home with your family, playing games, like, stuff like that shouldn't be an issue. I don't know, it's just me.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like that's what I was trying to make the point being like you said, and that's what affects it a lot is when someone works, and I'm using myself as an example right now, and I'm not making an excuse because I work. I should be able to do this and do that just because I work. But I work long hours, so I'm gone a lot of the time out of the week. And yes, I may work first shift, but I wake up around 6:30, and I'm gone some nights till 6:37. So it's like I'm gone for the majority of the day, and it's hard to balance your time when a lot of your week is just getting absorbed from work, and then you're still trying to come home and have a nice family life and give this person attention, give this person attention, and still collect rest all in the little few hours you have until you have to go to sleep to go back to work in the morning. So like you said, Cam, I feel just because our attention is not solely directed towards one thing in the house, just being in the house and having that presence of yourself there at some point should be enough
Right.
to satisfy the other significant others needs of being with each other. But I don't know, man, it's a
For me,
long.
like from what I hear from like Brookside, because we literally had these same discussions. Actually, it was just tonight we were just talking about this. Um, but like for females, I feel like they need more of that interaction. They need more of that, like not just being in the room. They want you like they want to be doing something with you. They want you to be, say, if you have a kid, they want you to be showing attention to your kid, showing attention to them. And as for guys, I think we're just wired a little bit different, where we like that time where I'm sitting right here in the room with you, and as you guys will hear when we're all playing games or something like that, you'll hear my kid in the background or stuff going on in the background. I'm here. For me, just my presence, like you guys were saying, is enough for me. I feel like I'm here. I feel like I'm, mind you, I'm not just playing games all the time. There'll be a day or a night that come on, I won't even touch it. I'll just spend that whole night with them. Then there's times where it's like
Right.
during the day you just had a long day. You're like, man, you're just stressed out. But there's nothing better than just coming home. Don't get
Yes.
right on the game, but you'll say hi to your kids. You'll say hi to her. You'll ask her how her day was, talk to her. But then you'll just get on and just kind of like relieve yourself, relieve that stress.
Relieve the stress, and that's where you open your mind and you just can go to your little zen mode. Exactly what you said. It perfect. You said it perfect, David.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're gonna move on to the second part. I personally haven't had a lot of experience with this, my little 2 cents about decisions as partners is it's all about communication. So like, I wouldn't make a purchase like outside of the normal things that we have allotted without at least mentioning that I'm going to do it. So like, I wouldn't just go out to GameStop and then come back with a Switch. Like, I'm gonna say, hey, I'm about to go pick up a Switch. Like, that's my personal thing. It's my money. Like, I feel like I have the right to do that, but I think I would feel the same way for like a female that's gonna go get their hair done or get their nails done. Like, offering or saying like, hey, by the way, I'm gonna go get this done. I'm gonna go do this. So that, what if I wanted to pay for that, and that's something that like I wanted to do for you, and I didn't know you were even doing it. So like, stuff like that, just communicating so we're on the same page. Now, if you're buying like a car, like clearly you want to consult and like make sure that we're all on the same page. We're not just buying huge things like that without consulting one another.
So the
Yeah.
question is,
Go ahead,
Just
Caleb.
about
Go ahead, Caleb.
So
and
the
then Cam.
question is, like, how often should you consult your partner with decisions?
Hmm.
And for me, I think it's a case by case basis, honestly, because like, for me, I don't really see a big deal about like going to get something to eat and get something for my significant other. And bro,
Man,
Caleb,
I'm not cutting this either.
Caleb, I'm
Bro, it's
sorry,
come
bro.
on, bro. He
No, all right.
plays
Let
way
me.
too much, bro.
All right, I am, and I'm sorry to everyone that's watching, and I'm sorry, Caleb, for distracting you and being a distraction during your talking. I seriously do apologize, and I'll stop.
nah, it's all good, bro. I just don't know what's going on because
No,
I'm
I was
like,
just
He was
coughing. I kept
coughing.
coughing, and then I was muted, and then I mouthed something, and just trying to be funny. Funny. I was trying to be funny in the wrong time. I'm sorry. Please go ahead because you're making some good points.
all right, but like I don't honestly don't see a big deal about like going to the store and buying something and coming back with it. But like my significant other does. It's like, oh, you should have talked to me about that. So I think that I mean it's a case by case basis. Y'all should understand what works for y'all. So like so the way it works for me is that like I try to consult my significant other about things as often as I can, just so there's no miscommunication about things. But at the same time, I reserve the right to be spontaneous. So like I reserve the right to go and do something for me with my money, and I also reserve the right to say, hey, put something on. We're going to go out to eat. We're going to go do this. Like because I think that partially that's kind of what relationships need at some point. Like you need to do things that are just kind of spur of the moment
Mm.
to keep it more exciting. So I think like consulting your partner with decisions, like you should communicate with them to the level that y'all have agreed to. I mean, whether that's she makes all the decisions, you make all the decisions, whatever. But for me, we talk about everything, and then for moments where we feel that it's more important to preserve the spontaneity of it, then that's when we kind of just don't talk about it. We just do it.
Yeah. So like not to get too in depth, but like far as the way that me and E operate, me and Isha, she still has her own bank account. I still have my own bank account, and so we have our separate money. But as a household, of course, what's hers is mine, and what's mine is hers. And of course, we're mindful of the fact that we have to pay bills and we have to make sure that we have all of our necessities. But as far as her buying something on Amazon for herself, I encourage her to do those things, within reason. So it's like it would be irresponsible for us to just spend money carelessly, but at the same time, you know, we both encourage each other to do the things that make us happy. So if we do have extra money, why shouldn't you be able to do this or why shouldn't you be able to do that? But if it's like Chris said, something huge, not some big buy, we always consult each other about before making decisions, or you know, like, or if we're going somewhere or leaving out, as far as like checking in and stuff like that. I don't feel like we have the type of relationship where we have to check in, but it's more about just respect and just letting the other person know, and then just as far as like looking out for one another. So it's like, if you are going to go somewhere, I just want to know that you're going to be okay, and just let me know if you need me. I'll check on you. If I'm out and about, she calls and checks on me. So it's like it's just about having the space, like you said, being able to be your own person and be an individual, but still at the same time staying on the same page and communicating.
What you, Dave?
Um, I would say so. Me and my significant other, Brooke, we share bank accounts. And for us, when it comes to spending money, it's definitely a little bit. You know, we don't really buy big things. When we do, normally that's me taking it. So I would say actually, when it comes to like buying cars, stuff like that. Normally, I mean, for a living, I sell cars, so I mean, I do everything, and she basically shows up to sign paperwork. Like um, we actually just put and got accepted our first offer on our house for our first house. I mean, I did everything. She just basically I said, "Hey, there's a document in your email. I need you to sign that." signs it, sends it over. So for me, I mean, me and Brooke are a little bit different, whereas she just trusts me everything with finance stuff. As long as, I mean, she's never, anything that I've ever bought, she's never questioned. So, and if she ever went out and bought something, I mean, unless it's something that I just, completely, it's just completely unnecessary. Um, Something that, like, we don't have a lot of money, just be wasting with having a child, and we got stuff and bills to pay, then I don't have a problem with it.
Cool. Anybody else got anything?
Yeah,
I
as far
want
as
to hear
Go ahead,
Conley.
come on. Go ahead, come on.
Yeah,
no, as far as the spending thing, it's a little different with kids because I feel like a lot of your finances are directed towards your children before your personal needs.
Absolutely.
But me and my significant other have shared a banking account since we've gotten together, which is kind of weird, but I
Mm.
never thought that was weird. And I find out like a lot of people don't have joint bank accounts, but I don't know. It's how it's been. It's how it's always been. So our finances like are collective. So it's always going to be what is there is both of ours,
Hmm.
and it's never yours or that. But as far as going out to spending and do I have a problem with what she spends? I don't think so because I trust her financially, and we do communicate if we do want to buy something that we think is unnecessary. So like if I want to buy a game, if I want to buy something um off of Amazon, I will check in like, hey, I want to get this. It's kind of like not asking
right,
I want to get it. It's kind of like just hinting like, oh man, I really want this, and to see if she intervenes just because you both know you both know if the purchase is unnecessary. So it's like,
right.
do you agree? Like, can we both come to terms? Like, is it okay if I make this unnecessary purchase? So it's I don't know. It's just a common respect and um yeah. I mean, like you said, Chris, communication is everything. So just communicate if you like it. If you think it's okay if I can do this and just do it. And then as
Yeah.
far as the checking in thing, actually go ahead, Ken. What were you gonna say to
No,
that?
I was agreeing with you, bro, because you said that perfectly. Like, it's like I'll be on Amazon, or if I'm online, I see something, or whatever case. If I'm thinking about buying something that might not be something
That you want?
crazy,
It's
it
an
might be
impulse. It's an impulse buy. Like it's something
it
that's
might
not
be
necessary.
yeah, it might just be some $20, but I'll be like, hey, can I buy this? And she's like, why are you asking me? I'm just like, because it's more so not necessarily asking for permission, because
Permission. It's like
we don't operate that way, but at the same time, we respect each other enough to say, okay, what our financial position is. Do you
yeah.
feel like this is something that we can wait on, or is something that we could treat ourselves?
And the thing about sharing accounts and stuff, it's sometimes like we don't we're not on the same page on the accounts as what we think we are. She might know something about it that I don't know. So that's why I do like to always throw that, hey, I'm trying to get this. And she's, oh no, because we just did. Oh, you're right. So then it kind of makes all sense. But and then another thing about that is it's just you feel. So when I want to buy something, I know it's dumb, and I'm already questioning it myself because you guys know how cheap I am. So it's like, man,
Right.
I shouldn't be spending this anyways. And I kind of let her be the decider if she's going to talk me into it or if she's going to talk me out of it. And it's just, yeah, so
Absolutely. Like if Brooke is like, if she gives me no like resistance at all, like, I'll just do it,
do
But
it.
if she's like, and like that hasn't, then I'm just like, all right,
Right.
that
It's
made
like
up
it's
my mind
not
for
worth
me.
it.
Not worth it.
But there's times where she wants to buy something and I feel like it's super unnecessary. Like I don't want to spend money on that at all. And I'm kind of bogus at that because I waste way too much money on food and I've bought very, very dumb things. And I feel like she lets me buy a lot more things than what I let her buy. And but I am the opposite. I would like to buy more stuff for her than what I want to buy more stuff for her than what I want to buy for myself. But yeah, man, it's a weird situation. It's all situational, you know what I mean? It's all
Hmm.
the
Y'all,
vibe
yeah.
what's willing.
Y'all,
I
You
y'all,
can
think I
play
just
go
with
need
it,
to.
ahead.
but
Go ahead.
I just need to move with my girl so we can get a bank account together so I can answer these questions correctly. 'Cause I've
Yeah,
never,
yeah, I'm the same way. And y'all
my
know
money
me.
is my
Yeah.
money.
Y'all know
Versus,
me. If I want something, I'm getting it. Like there's no
yeah.
question. Like it's in my cart. Go ahead and buy it.
Yeah.
I'll worry about
So,
it later.
so I'm gonna comment on this
but
video. Me and my girl move in together and let y'all know how it's going.
But like I did say though, a big point, and that's why I like this podcast because it's six different guys in six different situations. Some are more
Hmm.
similar than others, but three out of the six are do have kids, and not that you other three aren't not financially responsible, but um,
Just less
it's just
responsibilities
yes, and it's just
Yeah,
as
different
you
when
gotta
you
far as
have
take
that.
care of
kids.
yourself.
Yeah.
It's different. It's different from when you have kids because it's not like I can just go and oh I'm gonna buy this $60 game real quick. It's kind of like man, what can I get my kids with that $60 or do they have everything that they need before I spend the $60? So it's
Right.
just another. It's not a huge deal. It's just another step in making that final decision on getting what you want
Here's a
and
Okay.
good
not what you need.
Okay.
good.
So it's telling me I need to move in with my girl and get her pregnant. All right, bet.
Oh my god.
I used to compare everything like through like my phases. So like I went through that phase of just like buying Jordans and stuff like that, retros. Whenever I was looking at something like, man, that's a lot of money, but man, that'd be a pair of retros, you know? Like, no, I'm not gonna buy it. But now, like since I have a kid, um, it's like you start comparing everything like formula. Formula for us is expensive. Like
Yes, sir.
they're thinking like, man, do I want this? Like, I could go ahead and get some formula with that, or I can get some
Yeah.
diapers, wipes, or something with that. And then you're just like, nah. So you definitely start comparing different things when you buy it. Like, is it worth it, or should I get this for the kid? So,
Yeah. How old is Junior now?
Bro,
11 months, about to be
Damn,
11.
my
So,
little man almost won, bro.
good man, guys, two
but
buttons.
you know what?
Man.
He looked just like me.
Bro, funny as heck. But I want to actually throw in an example. It's kind of like a funny. So it's so insignificant, but okay. So I've been going to the spa academy, right? So we have our lunch from 12 to 1. So I didn't pack lunch, and Isha had cooked chicken and rice, right? Kind of like Puerto Rican style. So I didn't pack anything because I'm lazy, right? So I get up in the morning, get dressed, get ready. I leave out. Don't take lunch. I don't pack any leftovers and take it with me. So we get to lunch, and I'm like, oh man, your boy's hungry. So I look over to the left. There's Five Guys burgers and fries, bro.
Mm.
So I'm like, I haven't been there really ever. We've been there like one time, bro. So I'm like, I don't know what the
Fire.
price thing is.
It's
It
steep.
was
It's steep.
fire, bro.
Fire.
It was fire.
It's fire
Caleb?
though.
Guys, 1 minute, please. Caleb, one more time for the people.
That price is steep.
Ooh, boy.
And that is what I didn't know, bro, before I walked in there. So
Yeah.
so I walk to Five Guys, bro. I go in there. The burger by itself is like $9, bro. Then you got fries, a drink, and it came to like $16, $17, bro. That's
One
almost to
person.
me. That's a 20p. That's $20 to me. I'm rounding that up to $20, bro.
Absolutely.
And then I have to
15.
call. And then I have to call my fiance who cooked last night, and I didn't pack lunch and tell her, yeah, I came over to Five Guys and basically spent $20 to eat for just me. And then it's kind of like she doesn't get mad, but it's like, really,
Really?
Like,
Yeah, really.
Who else? Did you
so
sit
it'd be
there?
stuff like that.
Did you sit there and look at the menu, scratching your head, like trying to figure out, like you reading it wrong?
Like, man, hey, did I eat today?
She was like, and the first thing she said, she's like, you know how many 4 for 4s we could have bought? I'm like,
Yes.
facts.
Man.
Hey, was
I
it
think
fire though,
that's the
Cam? Was it fire though, Cam?
Oh, absolutely.
Fire, bro.
know.
Fire.
That
Absolutely.
might
always
be the
helps.
reason I left my ex. I had to spend
That always
50.
We're gonna move on to the closing segment, yo. We got to go to one. Got to go. That's crazy. So we're gonna talk about Cartoon Network shows. Thanks, Ron, for picking this one out. The 4 shows this week are Courage the Cowardly Dog, Samurai Jack, Ed, Ed and Eddie, and Powerpuff Girls. For Samurai Jack and Powerpuff Girls, I'm assuming those are the old because they rebooted both of
Yes.
those.
And can I say something real quick?
Yeah,
The
go ahead.
reason why didn't base this on any top 10 list. The reason why I picked these 4 is because I wanted to pick the 4 cartoons that we most likely would have been watching when we were growing up, watching cartoons heavy. That's why I picked these 4.
Mhm.
And yes, like Chris said, the old, not the reboots.
Can we throw in the 5th?
Can I? No. But I can throw in an honorable mention. Let me throw in 2 honorable
would
mentions.
better be the same.
It was going to be this one's definitely not going to be one you were thinking. I was going to say so. I'm going to say 3 because I know one you're talking about is Dexter's Laboratory.
Dexter's Laboratory.
That's an
It will never
honorable
leak,
mention,
so we don't
but
gotta put that in.
but I that's why I did. That's what I'm saying. I didn't want to put a powerhouse in there. Dexter's Laboratory. Number 2, I'm going to put Teen Titans, and
Kids Next Door.
or
Kids
no, I
Next
won't put Kids Next Door.
Powerhouse.
There's another one that I just spaced on it, but those
Number
are 2 honorable
4?
mentions. Those are gonna be 2 honorable mentions.
said number
It's
4.
Teen Titans, and Dexter's Laboratory, and Johnny Bravo. There's so many. There's so many. But that could be another one gotta go. So we're not gonna keep naming off a bunch of stuff. So you guys want to go ahead?
I'm gonna go first. My first. So Dave, this is your first one. So you got the first one to stay is our first round. For me, Powerpuff Girls. It's gotta stay. I'll give you one term. Mojo Jojo. It's over. It's Mojo Jojo. Simple.
I'm gonna go Courage the Cowardly Dog for me. That one, man.
Hey, that show was scary.
Very scary, especially bring me the flag.
Yeah.
Or return the flag. Whatever he was saying, bro. That one right there, that was too much, man. And then the hologram head.
Yes, bro. That show was scary, bro. I couldn't go.
Much, and they played it at late night. Like, come on.
It was on Adult Swim.
Had us under the covers, scared. Yes, sir.
I want to say Powerpuff Girls has got to stay.
Yep.
Buttercup, you stink. Take a bath.
Man, that was hilarious. Go ahead, Cam.
Bro, I don't even want to participate in this one.
It's a tough one. That's why I was thinking of this real thoroughly. I'm like, let me get a little toughy in here.
Man, bro, if you guys made me choose, and I have to, if I have to keep one, I'm gonna go. I like the Courage the Cowardly Dog, so I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna go Courage.
I'm following the.
Go ahead. Kavon.
I'm just gonna follow him up. Courage the Cowardly Dog. I have to. So that's probably my number 1.
Same.
I'm gonna go second. I'm gonna go second round. Courage the Cowardly Dog would be my second as well.
Courage is my second. Yeah.
Powerpuff is my second.
Big boy Dave.
I'm gonna have to go Ed and Eddie. That show was fire to me.
Dave, we look alike for a reason because we think alike.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm changing my second. I low-key forgot Ed and Eddie.
Eddie is number 2 for me. It for my top show. I have to. It's between Courage and Ed and Eddie. If I had to pick any one to watch, it'd be between those two. But Ed and Eddie, just with simple fact, come on, man, that show was just so funny. It was genius. They were the biggest hustlers of our generation. And tell me this: there's 2 food items in cartoon history that I want my kids on so bad.
The Jawbreaker.
The Jawbreaker and the Krabby Patty. And those Jawbreakers in that show were so iconic because they were so thirsty to get enough money to go buy one. And it just broke my heart that every time they would get the money or they would get the Jawbreaker, something would happen for them to lose it. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and that second one's going to be Ed and Eddie.
Mm-hmm.
Fair. Okay. This is you.
I don't know, bro. I feel like it was underestimated. It's underrated. Samurai Jack.
I'm have to. I don't know why it kicked me out, but we're gonna have to go back to when Cam started. I'll edit it.
You're still good for me.
I cut out for a long time.
You were still here for me too.
Yeah.
Really? I almost
Was
started.
I still here?
I almost started cussing.
Was I still here a little bit ago?
Everyone went out for me.
Cause my screen, my whole thing was crashed.
Yeah, same. I'm just trying to get Kavan back. There he goes. All right, Cam, your second one, please.
Yeah, if I had to say my second choice, I feel like Samurai Jack is the underdog, so I'm gonna go with Samurai Jack for my second. No, I would probably go Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Second.
Ooh, Powerpuff Girl. Nah, yeah, I'll go Powerpuff Girls than Samurai Jack.
So now we're gonna talk about the one we got to cut, and this is tough because I was gonna say that Ed, Edd and Eddie can go,
Oh,
but then I remember the plank,
Yeah.
oh yeah.
and that's the sole reason I'm gonna cut Samurai Jack. Iconic, but I also didn't watch it as much because I feel like there wasn't as many episodes as the other shows. So it was just less likely that you were gonna see it. So I'll cut Samurai Jack.
Samurai Jack got to go for me.
I think Samurai Jack can go too because it was like they played it late. In my
Yeah,
opinion, they
and
played it super late, and like it was right before. It was the last show before Adult Swim came on, wasn't it?
last show before Adult Swim, yes.
So,
And that was-
and
that's
so
what I was
like I
gonna bring
never really watched it like that. I mean, it was a good show when you do watch it, but like at the same time, like Courage, and Ed, and Eddie, and Pop Up Girls, those were like
Prime time.
all prime time.
Oh yeah.
And Samurai
know.
Jack, it's a classic, but it's
You know, most of the time we have to go to sleep by a certain time too. So
Right.
up.
Fact.
9 o'clock, lights out.
I feel like though for me the reason why I say Samurai Jack, bro, I want to keep Samurai Jack is for the simple fact, you know how like when you watch John Wick, it's like the fact that that person is so cold, like
yeah,
that's what intrigued me about Samurai Jack. I'm like that man cold.
I like Kill Bill better, but I feel you.
I ain't watched Kill Bill in a minute.
I gotta cut Samurai just because I felt like I definitely remember liking it because whenever it was on, I watched it, but I just can't think back to like all the other ones. I could think back to like certain like episodes, certain stuff that happened. Samurai Jack, all I can just remember is just like you said, with him just he was cold, and that's what all I can remember about it. Really, I can't remember back to a specific episode that I watched. So
Mm-hmm.
You know what?
like that.
Yeah,
When Dave, I'll fuck him on, but when Dave puts it like that, bro, yeah, he make good sense. I'm gonna have to hop on the bandwagon, and Samurai Jack gotta go, man.
Yeah.
my last two remaining are the Powerpuff Girls and Samurai Jack. And the reason why I thought to put Samurai Jack on this list is because I remember seeing the release of Cartoon Network's top shows, and I think it was from Cartoon Network that ranked them, and Samurai Jack was number one. And I'm trying to refine that list, but I cannot find it.
Because it was a bad list.
I think it wasn't. I don't think it wasn't. I don't think it was opinion though. I think it was what was actually the
like
most.
the ratings.
The ratings on the show was the highest for Samurai Jack, and
Has a
and every
93% on Rotten Tomato. Samurai Jack.
But I think that Samurai Jack, like Caleb said, it came on right before Adult Swim was the last one. It was kind of more of an older kid show. So I'm gonna go with Powerpuff Girls just because I just love the Powerpuff Girls, and just like Chris said, Mojo Jojo, and they used to
beat the brakes
dog
out.
mess on him.
They used to beat the
God.
brakes out of that boy. This time, that's just going to do it for the guys podcast. Appreciate the guys for being here. If y'all have any questions, the guys podcast AOL.com. And you can comment below your thoughts. You can message us anything that you need to do. Check us out on all streaming platforms. I could get the complete list if y'all want, but Spotify, Apple, Anchor, everywhere there's a podcast, you will find this podcast. So we appreciate y'all taking the time to listen. If you got this far,
Big ups, y'all, big ups. Like he said, please let us get some feedback from you guys, man. Let us know what you want to hear. Let us know what you think about our topics. Let us know what you think about our opinions. We love the feedback. We love interacting with you guys. So please just let us know something.
Yeah, because ain't nobody hit that AOL.
no one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's funny. No one uses AOL.
It worked though.
But y'all definitely remember it because it's AOL, the guys podcast at AOL. You ain't gonna
All you
forget
gotta
that.
do is shoot an email.
Shoot your
And
shot.
the easiest way to get in contact with us is the most efficient way and the most convenient way. Just drop down in them comments on Facebook, share, comment, let us know, man. We want to know what you guys want to hear, you know, ideas
Yes,
and
sir.
the evolution of the Guys podcast. You know, it's important to us. Stay in tune, man. And if y'all don't share and y'all don't comment, keep that same energy.
All right, then, y'all. Peace.
Mm.